from the owners of ships exposed to the piracy threat. And President Arroyo of the Philippines also congratulated me on this move. More than 70% of the crew on Japanese ocean-faring ships are actually Filipino. In order to combat piracy at the root, my government also promotes public order and welfare in related countries. One is to assist stability in Somalia by improving security, creating jobs, and providing humanitarian aid to that country. 20 years of civil strife and political chaos has caused unimaginable suffering for the Somalian people. Second is to enhance the ability of Somalia's two neighbors, namely Yemen and Oman, to police their own waters. Japan has already trained coast guards in both countries, and we plan to deliver more assistance. So, as you can see, the activities of our self-defense forces and the Maritime Safety Agency and our efforts to assist public order, welfare, and the livelihood of the people of Somalia and the neighboring coastal and other countries are like the two wheels of a car. A similar two-pronged strategy is also pursued in our fight against terror. As part of the fight against terror in Afghanistan, the Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Forces have been engaged in refueling and support operations in the Indian Ocean. And last December, the Japanese Diet extended the law on special measures to allow the MSDF to continue these operations further. The MSDF members continue to stoutly perform their duties in the 40-degree-plus heat, and their state-of-the-art refueling skills have come to be hailed as God hand by navies which receive refueling. I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation and respects to the MSDF members and their families. Afghanistan has entered a critical stretch with the presidential election now looming in August. To date, Japan has a track record of accomplishment in Afghanistan, which include 500 schools built or repaired, 10,000 school teachers trained, 300,000 people trained in reading and writing skills, and 40 million people vaccinated. We also provided enough assistance to pay half a year's worth of salary to all 80,000 Afghan police officers in order to reinforce public order and security there. Japan will continue to do even more in the field of public order and welfare in the years to come. The Afghan problem is deep-rooted and should be viewed from the standpoint of ensuring stability in Greater Central Asia, including Pakistan. More than 3 million people have been displaced within Pakistan amidst the war on extremism. To organize support for Pakistan, I hosted a meeting of donor countries here in Tokyo in April in consultation with President Obama, who had just taken office then. Our strong call for support to major governments was rewarded by an unexpectedly large commitment of $5 billion in global aid. And Japan's efforts as presidency was highly commended. President Zardari of Pakistan, who attended the meeting, thanked Japan and voiced renewed resolve to tackle the difficult situation. And Japan, on its part, will continue to take leadership in this field.
Now, to date, the government and the ruling parties have appealed to the people of Japan about the direction Japan should head in, and have safeguarded the security and prosperity of Japan. We've dispatched the self-defense forces to Iraq, the Indian Ocean, and offshore Somalia. We have strengthened the Japan-US alliance, the cornerstone of Japan's defense, and the peace and stability of the Far East. Unfortunately, however, the Democratic Party of Japan have voted nay or raised objections to these important decisions of the state. The role that Japan has played has all been necessary ones. Do they want other countries to take on those roles? That attitude will not be accepted by the international community. When it comes to the Japan-US alliance, some leaders of DPJ have said that the 7th Fleet will suffice for U.S. presence in the Far East, even as we face the North Korean problem. This implies a significant scaling back of the Japan-US security arrangements and a deep cutback in the deterrence U.S. can offer to Japan. This is far from sufficient to protect this country and its people. This is a matter of extreme importance for Japan's security, which is why I ventured to point this out. Now, how are we to secure prosperity through diplomacy? Let me cite one example. Japan is promoting a symbolic project in Palestine called the Corridor for Peace and Prosperity. It's not a mere run-of-the-mill economic project. Turn Jericho and the West Bank into a green tableland through cooperation with Israel, the Palestinian National Authority, and Jordan, applying Japanese and Israeli technology. Export the agricultural produce grown there by Palestinians via Jordan to oil-exporting countries in the Gulf and other consumers. Perspire together, lower the barriers of mistrust between the parties, and share profits. This is about sharing prosperity, utilizing Japanese idea, technology, and financial resources. We had conducted lots of consultations on this, and I have visited Jericho and other places concerned. Now, one of the most intractable challenges for the world diplomacy, I believe, is the realization of Middle East peace. Through this endeavor, Japan wishes to become the intermediary that brings the rarest of resources in the Middle East, that is, trust. With that aspiration, we shall continue to advance this project. Last week, we adopted the basic policies for economic and fiscal reform 2009. And as a priority agenda, we have in that policy to accelerate strategic international contributions. The key words of my policy are reassurance, vitality, and responsibility. These apply to both domestic and international policy. As in the case of the project in Palestine, Japan shall promote projects with responsibility, together with the parties concerned, to bring reassurance and vitality. And by engaging in this kind of international cooperation, we wish to ensure the prosperity of the world as well as Japan. Now let me discuss a new initiative today. Now, I'd like to draw your attention to Central Asia and Caucasus, the region that is located at the very center of the arc of freedom and prosperity, endowed with abundant resources and energy. Japan will cooperate with the endeavor to link entire Eurasia longitudinally and latitudinally by traversing this region. I shall call this the Eurasian Crossroads Initiative. The longitudinal line is the north-south transport route, the route that travels from Central Asia through Afghanistan to the Arabian Sea. And we anticipate road and railway infrastructure development The latitudinal line is the east-west corridor from Central Asia through Caucasus to Europe, and would anticipate ports and harbors, port harbor development along the Caspian Sea. Through such sub-regional infrastructure and development, we shall be able to unite together the Central Caucasus region